Hey there, it's Imran and you're watching Imran Plus. Welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking. While you're here, make sure you click that subscribe button and get us to 100 subscribers. We are very close, less than 30 subscribers to go, and you could be one of them. So click that subscribe button and let's take a look at the Miss Marvel sizzle reel. So it's Disney Plus Day, and we have gotten a lot of first looks and clips and teasers of upcoming Marvel projects. And so we took a look at Moon Knight, and now we're going to look at Miss Marvel, which is going to be released in summer next year. So there is a lot going on with this show. If you haven't seen on Twitter, there are people that are very concerned, and I think rightfully so. So we're going to break it all down and talk about it, and I'm going to tell you what I think as a Pakistani Muslim myself. So first, let's start about what is so important about Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel. She is the first Pakistani Muslim superhero in Marvel Comics and in general. And so this is a really big deal, and she's an American teenager, a brown woman who is struggling with her identity. It's like this back and forth that's explored, I think, really interestingly in the comic. And I think whether or not you agree with it or not, or you resonate with it, I think it reflects a very large part of the Muslim American population, because this character, after being introduced, just skyrocketed in terms of popularity, and a lot of people really connected with her. They put her in the Avengers game. They are like making her one of the main characters in the MCU. I mean, she's a prominent character, and I mean, now she's getting her show, and she's going to be in the upcoming Young Avengers. I mean, the comic and her character, again, is exploring her struggle, fitting in, and with her finding her identity, both as an American and a Muslim American and a Pakistani American, and as a superhero, struggling that dynamic of being a superhero and a teenager. And I think that's normally what we expect with Peter Parker, but that's not really something that Peter explores in the MCU. It is in the comics, and I think that's what makes Sam Raimi's trilogy really strong, and really, it still stands. Spider-Man 2 is still one of the best Spider-Man movies ever. But I mean, Peter is supposed to be poor, and here in the MCU, we have seen no sign of that. And so I think that part of like the superhero genre is missing, and I think it's very apt to give that to Kamala. So they've changed her powers, and I think that is an issue. I mean, in the comics, she has polymorphism power, so she can change shape and density of her different parts of her body, and her powers there are central to her struggle with her identity, because she wanted to be an Avenger, a superhero, but instead she gets like these ugly powers that kind of aren't like that glamorous. And I think that's another journey that she goes on, to accept them and embrace them for who she is, and learn to appreciate them. And I think when you take that away and give her like these cool, glowy, like crystal-y powers that are, like kind of ideal, it takes away from that. Now it seems like she's getting her powers from a bracelet, basically like a purple Green Lantern. She has like these purple constructs that she can create and, use kind of like how Green Lantern does. Her powers are hard to depict, and we do have Reed Richards coming. And I think that this was like a unique way of doing the same thing, because she could just like do her stretchy powers as constructs, and it would fit with Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel's light-based powers, since all three of them are going to be in the Marvels, which is coming out in 2023. And so, I mean, as much as that takes away from her character, I could see it working. But recently, there are other rumors that her powers are not actually just constructs, instead they turned her into a genie, and that she can conjure things up like a genie, and she uses that to become a hero. So that I don't know how I feel about. I do not like that. Is completely different. I don't see how that retains any part of her original character. And how is that like Miss Marvel's powers are iconic at this point. I mean, not to the mainstream level, but like she is as the center of the last Avengers game, and I don't know how you can have those same like it's a new character basically. And so these types of changes work with like obscure characters, but not with a character that's so popular like this. It looks like they are trying to incorporate the concept of jinn, which is in Islam. Jinn are basically beings that are made of a smokeless fire, but do not interact with humans really. And it's kind of like, because there are three types of creation: humans, angels, and jinn. And humans are made of like dirt and clay, angels are made of light, pure light, and jinn are made of a smokeless fire. And so there's a whole like conversation that can be had about that, but that is a concept that exists. And Hollywood has really wrecked that with the concept of genies, like from Aladdin. And I think that's a very Orientalist trope, and is not at all like what the concept is. But it looks like they are trying to pull from that because she's supposed to be Muslim and Pakistani, and they kind of connect those two. I don't think it's working though. As a Muslim myself, I don't like that. I think again, it's playing into that Orientalist trope, and it's not accurate. It's like not even true to what they like jinn actually are. And I don't like that conflation, because it like I just feel like it taints it, and it doesn't feel authentic, and it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm not a fan of that at all, if you can't tell. I'm really surprised that the creators of the show would think of this, because it seemed that the creators, the people behind the scenes, were going to be very authentic. Like they're all, either Muslim or Pakistani. But the fact that this is what they've come up with, that's problematic. I mean, if this is true, again, this is not confirmed. These are just rumors that I'm seeing from multiple different sources. And so, yeah, I don't know what to say. I hope it's not true. And I mean, the construct is true. Like there's no changing that. So they've changed your powers. But I hope it's not this. I hope it's not this genie thing. I don't like that. My excitement for this show has dropped significantly, and it has been replaced with uncertainty. I'm very nervous because on one hand, if this show fails, like it is not successful or is poorly reviewed, then that's not good, and it's a blow to like the first show with a mainstream Muslim lead and about Muslim people in like a big franchise. But if it succeeds and these rumors are true, then that's a blow to actual Muslims. We'll just have to see. Hopefully, I'm hoping for the best, and I hope they are able to pull this off. I trust Marvel and I trust Kevin Feige, but not to this extent. So I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. So let's take a look at what they showed us, this little sizzle teaser reel thing. And then we'll talk about a theory that I have and my final thoughts. So here we go. We start off with them at some sort of party or convention. And I really like this like glow up thing of Captain Marvel. I think that's really cool. We have not seen Captain Marvel interact with anybody on Earth. So I don't know how Kamala is a fan of her. I do not get it, but we'll see. I mean, like, how do people even know who she is? They obviously do because they reference it in WandaVision, but okay. I mean, I'll believe it. Okay, so here, she is opening a casket, and here I think is where the bracelet thing might come in. It looks like it's like she might be in some sort of like attic or storage area, and she's opening it, and we're coming in from the back, which is typically like to signal like a big reveal inside. And I'm not sure, it kind of looks like it's glowing, but that could just be her yellow sweater. Yeah, I think that the bracelet thing is true, because I think this is where we're seeing it. And here it seems like she is at some sort of either dawat or party or some function. I mean, I like this shot actually a lot because it's very relatable to me. I've been to many of those and I actually really like it. She looks good, and the background, like, I like it. So she's looking at a mask, and here we have a scene of, I think, her powers. Now, as you can see, they're purple, and we have like some sort of like gem energy situation, very reminiscent of both Captain Marvel Brie Larson's Carol Danvers, how she got her powers, and Monica Rambeau's Spectrum situation. So you can see even this, like the light flares, you can see like the rainbow color, like when light passes through a prism. So yeah, I think that's why they've changed it, so that all three can be light-based powers in the Marvels. I mean, this is a cool sequence and it looks good, and I think she's wearing her like cosplay costume, so this could be like the first use of her powers. And here she's like a brown girl from Jersey's never the superhero, and so I think that will be a theme of the show, and there's Bruno. Okay, so we are in the masjid, and we show people praying. So I'm looking forward to positive representation of Muslims and Islam and an authentic representation. There we go, there's her cosplay costume, and here I think that was a look at maybe the antagonists of the show, the villains. I have no clue who they could be. Maybe the Tinker or something, I'm not sure. Okay, so here's like your classic from Shazam. They're testing out their powers probably, but I'm not sure. Okay, here, they showed us the powers. Like, this is it. And they showed us the costume. So in the reflection of this building, you can see her running on her like constructs. That's so Green Lantern. That is so Green Lantern. And you can see like anytime she jumps, there's like purple steps that show up, and you can see her scarf billowing behind her. I mean, that is a very cool shot. I like it a lot. It's just not this Marvel from the comics. I don't know what to say. But I mean, this was my favorite moment. I really like that. It's very cool. Very cool. Look at her go. Here, and we have the logo, and you can see the purple like crystals, the purple like energy. It's like yeah, it's very much like a prism and light passing through. So yeah, she's gonna have her purple Green Lantern powers basically. Instead of a ring, it's a bracelet. Great. And then we got a look at Circle Q. This is a very popular spot for Captain Marvel mythology, and so that's gonna be cool. And then we also have a shot of them running. She's running away from like probably the villains in the show. And last, here's the party that we saw earlier. And Bruno is here. Like, what are you doing here, Bruno? You weren't invited to this dawah. But it could probably be like a wedding or something. Yeah, so, I mean, Bruno is gonna be her love interest, so it makes sense that they would like loop him in here, but we'll see. I hope it's better than the Bollywood sequence in Eternals. I thought that was actually pretty awful. So, I mean, let's see if they got it right here. It looks like they see weddings where people perform at the wedding for like the bride and groom. So that's what it looks like to me. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, it's actually she's wearing a different suit. Okay. So yeah, that's the trailer. So I think that looks good, but I'm still nervous. But I do have a theory. So I think that they are going to be going to Pakistan. Like Kamala and her family are going to Pakistan. And I think that is where she's going to meet Kareem, because it is where she meets him in the comics. But I know that the cast has been shooting in Thailand, and it looks like it's going to be a stand-in for Pakistan. So I believe that she is going to go there, and that is where she's probably going to find that family heirloom bracelet thing and probably get her powers, and she will also meet Kareem there, aka the Red Dagger. But I think that they have changed the Red Dagger from being a single hero. He is like a vigilante of Pakistan. He's known as the Red Dagger, and he doesn't have powers. He just has like knives, and he's like kind of like Bullseye, but not. And I think that they've changed that to be a group of vigilantes. I think they've changed it because they've cast big names in this, like Fawad Khan, who's a Pakistani actor, and Farhan Akhtar, rumored, potentially, I'm not sure, but I think that they will be probably members of this Red Dagger gang. And I think that this Red Dagger gang is going to inspire Kamala to be a hero when she returns to Jersey. And I think that's where she's going to start, work training or like working with Bruno, get herself in trouble. You know how it goes. And then we'll see. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Overall, I'm still uncertain. I mean, I'm still gonna watch it. This teaser looks promising, and I like how they've put it together, but I'm still apprehensive. And I will be unsure about it all the way up until the end of the finale. Let me know what you thought. What do you think of this entire situation? This was a long video, but I think it's some concerning things. What are your thoughts about my theories and the rumors that we've been hearing? And are you excited or are you nervous? Let me know. I really, really want to know what people's thoughts are on this show. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time. Lots more videos coming very soon, but in the meantime, make sure you subscribe and get us to 100 subscribers. Click the bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, fellow movie enthusiasts, and all your fellow Marvel fans. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.